In this video, I'm going to show how to install MPI on two virtual machines. And suppose I have two virtual machine on VirtualBox, and the first one is master virtual machine, another one is a slave virtual machine. And my virtual machine have the following configurations. On the master machine, let's see the setting. For the system, I set it to have 2 GB of memory and 2 processor core. And for the network of the master, I use 3 network interface. The first network interface is a NAT network interface. The second network interface, or the second adapter, I set it to host only adapter. And the third one is the internal network. This interface is connected to the internal network named innet. On the slave virtual machines, I have the following configuration. Click Setting. For system, it has 2 GB of memory and 2 processor core. For network, it have a 3 network interface or 3 adapter or network adapter. The first one is the NAT network. The second one is the host only network, and the third one is the internal network called named innet, the same name as the master. Okay. So I have already installed Ubuntu server 16.04 on these 2 machines. Now I'm going to start them up. First, I start the master. Okay, the master is up. Now I'm going to start the slave machines. While the slave is starting, I'm going to log into the master. My account name is OpenStack. Your virtual machine can have any account name you like. So on the master virtual machine, I'm going to show you the network configurations. I use ifconfig, and you can see here from the output that there are 3 network configuration for the 3 network interface. And I'm going to show you the network interface configuration file. So I'm going to vi sudo vi/etc network interface. And in this file, I set the first network interface, that is ENP0S3 to DHCP. This one will be the uh, this one is associated with the first network interface of VirtualBox, that is the NAT network. The next one is ENP0S8. This one also set to the DHCP. It is the network that connect to the host-only network. And the last one is ENP0S3 S9. I set IP address for this one to 172.50.99.21 for this machine. This is the network that will connect the master and slave machine, and MPI will use this network for this subnet network for communications. So the network interface file has already been configured. So now I'm going to go back to the shell, and next I'm going to create a new user called MPI user on both the master and slave machines. So the slave machine is already up. Now on the master machine, I'm going to create a new user called MPI user. Oh, sorry, the users already exist. So well, I'm going to use PuTTY to log into to create a PuTTY session and log into the master and the slave virtual machines, because I can cut and paste something to PuTTY. So now let's take a look at the IP address of the host-only network on both machines. For the master machine, I have 192.168 dot 122.3 as the IP address for the host-only network for the master machine. So I'm going to use PuTTY to connect to that machines. And actually, I already have something prepared for this. So it's going to be this one, loaded and open. Yes. So I'm going to log into my account. Okay. For another machine, I'm going to open another putty session, and that is, well, first I have to find out the IP address of the host only network. IP address on the slave machines. And to do so, I'm going to use ifconfig, and the second network interface, that is ENP0S8, that's the host only network interface, and it has an IP address of 192 dot 168.122.4. I'm going to run another putty session and open a putty session to this machine. Okay, so for the slave machine, I'm going to log in to the machines. Now, I'm going to create a new user for MPI installation. I'm going to use create user MPI user my MPI user, right? I'm going to do the same thing on the slave machines, and I'm going to cut and paste this. Okay, so next I'm going to allow the MPI user to be able to use sudo. Uh, so I'm going to um, modify the sudo file so that the MPI user, my MPI user account can use sudo. So I'm going to vi to the etc sudo and in the sudo file I'm going to add here mp my MPI user. Okay, and I'm going to save the file. Yes, and I'm going to do the same thing on the slave machines. Yes. Okay. Oh, sorry. check something first. Oh, okay. This I already have my MPI user account on that machine. My MPI user. Okay. So now I'm going to log in to the MPI user, and in doing so I'm going to use su command. I, and now uh, I uh, I have already logged in into the my MPI user on the master machine, and I'm going to do the same thing on the slave machines. Sudo yes, I log into the my MPI user on the slave machines. Uh, Next, um, I'm going to create uh, a key pair, a public and private key pair, so that I can set them up to to allow me to do the remote execution from the master machine to the slave machines. And going to use SSH keygen minus TRSA. Okay. The key pair will be created under the .ssh directory. Um, for this setup, I'm uh, um, I'm kind of lazy, so I'm not going to enter the passphrase. Uh, that mean I'm not going to encrypt the private key, uh, so that when I use it, it's gonna be easier to do remote execution. But uh, but yeah, well, you have to be careful for this. But I just this is for just for the testing. So yeah, I'm not going to enter the passphrase here. All right. So we are now we have a public and private key created, and next I'm going to copy this public key into to the slave machines. To do so, I'm going to follow this here. You can also look at the tutorial of more information from this MPI tutorial website right here. So here I'm going to use this SSH copy ID